My name's Sue Munro. It's lovely to be here. I'm going to speak to you today about a new toolkit, an exciting new toolkit for schools. I think it's going to be a powerful, positive impact on the young people in the next generation. This image I've put on screen here is, I think, a way of summing up where we want to get to. This is showing young people that are connected to nature, because if you're connected to nature, you value it, and if you value it, you look after it. And that is really what we want to do with the twin emergencies of biodiversity loss and climate change to consider. So the toolkit in question is the Nature Discovery Map Scotland, and the strapline for this is Making the Outdoors Your Classroom. I'll be running through the origin of the toolkit. Then we're going to be delving into the toolkit itself, looking at what we're calling the journey of discovery, and then we will be looking at the next steps and giving the toolkit wings. Firstly, then, how it came about. If you cast your mind back to the climate change conference in Glasgow, COP26. At that conference, there was a UK government announcement which may have passed you by, but it was announcing the concept of the National Education Nature Parks, which is an idea that if you think about all the education establishments across the UK, they have a lot of grounds, and if we make those nature rich, that will be a huge bonus for working with against the biodiversity loss emergency. Shortly after the announcement, Scottish Government came and spoke to us at NatureScot, and they gave us a small commission to try and work up this concept within the Scottish context. Prior to arriving today, you may have noticed that Esri put out on their social media a shout out for putting in some words into a Mentimeter. What 3 words describe your school grounds? So thinking back to when you were growing up, what were those words? And I think it's no great surprise that playground, grass, playing fields, concrete are coming up out of that. I think that was really the experience of many of us growing up in our school grounds. I don't think it's changed that much in the intervening period of time. The curriculum for excellence in Scotland is underpinned by the learning for sustainability concept. A key finding of research that underpinned the new Learning for Sustainability Action Plan is on screen. I think this is really important. So I'm actually going to read this out verbatim. I think it's important that we listen to what our young people are telling us. Learners ask for more opportunities to learn outdoors and be in nature, and to be empowered to make actionable changes in their educational settings, to fully embrace the ethos of learning for sustainability. They also wanted the adults in their lives to take a proactive approach to support them to make those changes. I believe the Nature Discovery Map Scotland will fulfil this. This is a fantastic opportunity for us to make a really good difference to the school grounds. We can see them as an asset, not only for nature, but also for those learning opportunities coming out of having nature-rich grounds for our young people. I'm going to move on now to delve into the actual toolkit itself. I'm sure you're itching to know what it's all about. So we will explore the toolkits, just a little bit of the technology that sits behind that, that's used to make this a reality. To help the teachers navigate this, we've come up with a concept, the journey of discovery, and it's based around this cycle of look, discover, plan, and act. So firstly, we're looking with fresh eyes at our school grounds. We're starting out by doing a baseline photo to get a visual idea of what the school grounds currently look like. Secondly, discover. And this is using some of the mobile apps and the other apps to look to discover what nature we've got in and around our school grounds, and to carry out an audit using the mobile apps of those school grounds to see what we actually have and gather some evidence. We then can use that evidence to plan the improvements that we want to make within the school grounds. And then importantly, we want to empower our young people to be able to act and make some changes in those school grounds. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Katie, who is going to walk you through some of the apps that we have.
Thank you very much, Sue. So, the first thing that we're going to do is take a look at an app called Nature Mapper. And as a teacher, I can use this tool to plan activities, and I can also give those to my students. So I've just zoomed into a school down the road from where we are here in the concert hall today. This is Glenelg Community Campus. And like many of our schools, they don't have a lot of their own green space on site. So to meaningfully connect with nature, we need to look at the other habitats that exist nearby. So I've got the OS Open Green Spaces layer open here, and it helps us to see those other green spaces close to the campus. And straight away we can see that there are a number of sports facilities and a public park that's close at hand. And the next thing I'm interested in is how close is that park? Is it going to be a safe short walk for my students to get there and visit it? We can see it's just under 350 meters away, so I think we can make that. This is looking like a good spot that we could go and visit and do some fieldwork inside. So we want to dig a little deeper into this space before we get there. So I'm going to open up some of the habitat and land cover layers that are in here too. And once these are open, we see that this is mostly a grassy area with a few boggy places and stands of trees. So this is looking really good to investigate further. I want my students to get out into this space. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up the draw tool, and I'm going to start to annotate this map so I can show those students or other teachers that I'm working with the areas that I want them to focus on. And I can also sort of mark out any hazards that are present here. So I've just picked up the drawing tool here, first of all, to mark those sites of interest to us, so where the students are going to go and start to collect some data. And once I've got those in place, I can switch to the different line drawing tool, and I'm just going to mark out that body of water. I want my students to understand that's a no-go area. I don't want them to get too close to that, and help them navigate around in the field. And once that's done, and looking good, I can print out this map and give it to my students that are actually going out into the field. And it's really important that we get those students outside as well as using these mapping tools to really help develop that nature connection. And that means, I think, that it's time to go to our man in the field and see the Discoverer app in action. So, Scottish Conference calling Dave Morgan. Are you there, Dave?
Hi, Katie. Hi, Sue. Hi, Scottish Conference.
Hi, Dave.
As Sue said, the journey of discovery starts with taking a baseline photo. I've already done this, and Katie can show you my baseline photo now.
Okay.
So let's move on to discover more about the grounds. The app allows you to collect point data for wee habitats or sustainability features. Let's collect a wee habitat. Here's a tree. Let's add it. I scroll down to add wee habitat and find the icon. The camera opens up straight away. I take the photo, and then it asks me the first of two questions. Could we improve this for nature? Well, that's a yes, not necessarily for the tree, but maybe for the playing field that's around it. Then it asks, when was this created? The map opens up, and I can adjust the location if necessary, and click Done. And that's added to the map. Back to you, Sue.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Katie. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of the first two stages of look and discover. Next, we move on to plan. And the idea is now we've got the data in our map, we can actually have a look to see what it's looking like. This is a full audit of one school as an example. We can use the symbology and the functionality of this dashboard or the nature mapper to try and then work out a plan for how we want to improve our school grounds. Ultimately, this toolkit supports change on the ground. So the next stage is to act, and what we're doing is, rather than reinventing wheels, we are signposting teachers to all of those resources out there that will help improve those features that we've already looked at or want to add to our plan. So next, you've had a brief taste of what the toolkit can look at. We've just skimmed through just a few of the apps. Next, I'm going to say a few words about the next steps and how we want to give this toolkit wings. I'm delighted to say that we are just about to soft launch this toolkit. Hopefully it will be ready for next week. However, to secure the long-term future of this toolkit, we really need to make this fly quickly. Teachers tell us that they like long-lasting toolkits that they can use year on year. And as you've seen, there's a lot riding on this. So for maximum impact, we really, really want to make this fly quickly. You will have also guessed that this is great for digital literacy, for developing skills, for all those new nature-based jobs of the future, some of which we probably haven't even been invented yet. You may be wondering what the dots are about. Well, that's just a little reminder that we are not reinventing the wheel here. What we're trying to do is join the dots for teachers so that they can work with well-established resources like Eco Schools or the Climate Ready School Grounds initiative. They can use our toolkit to support those, and we can signpost to all sorts of other resources to help make change on the ground. Hopefully you'll agree that it's really important that we get this out here to schools as quickly as possible for maximum impact. Let's make this fly. So in summary, we've had a canter through the origins of the toolkit. We've seen how we can try and make the school grounds a real asset for our young people. We've looked at the journey of discovery, delved into the apps, and we can see how that supports the learning for sustainability and future jobs. And we've looked at the next steps, the soft launch that's coming, and the fact that we really, really need to drive this forward and make this happen for maximum impact. So, you can see we're back to the start again. I'm using the same image here. I think it's important to try and get our message out. So this is a plea from me. Please, I know you all have connections with schools, or many of you do. Please tell any schools you have those connections with about this new resource. And if you're a geo-mentor, then please come alongside those schools and support teachers with this new resource. It's back to the image. If you're connected to nature, you value it. And if you value it, you look after it. Thank you.